friends, today we are making this matcha in a mug. This is something that I always drink right before picking up my son as a little afternoon pick-me-up. It is a green tea that has been turned into a powder, and you can froth it up with a matcha, is it called brush? I'm not sure what the proper term is. And it's a nice caffeinated drink that you can often find in a Japanese restaurant. My husband and I definitely drink it at home, and I just thought it would be a cute pairing with this onigiri that we had in the last episode. So if you want to make this, please keep watching and I'll show you how to do it. But these are the colors that you will need. You will need some black for the smile. You will need pink for the blusher, green for the matcha, the green tea, or you could do brown and make it into coffee or tea, up to you. And then a color for the body of the mug. It can be any color that you like. Go ahead and grab these yarns. This is Yarn Art Jean Plus from hobiumyarns.com, where you can find a variety of colors and perfect for beginners dipping their toes into amigurumi. Other things you will need, of course, are the stuffing as well as amigurumi eyes. I'm using 9mm, and you can do it in any color you like. I'm going to use black today. A 4mm hook or your choice of hook to achieve your desired tension, as well as scissors and a tapestry needle, and 100% you will need a stitch marker. Friends, we're going to start with our green for the matcha, or the beverage that's inside. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a magic ring and add 6 to that magic ring. So go ahead and do that. So this is, oops, excuse me, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Tighten that magic ring up. For round 2, we will increase in every stitch. So go ahead and increase around. You should have 12 single crochets by the end. Can you believe this is the 9th episode of Learn Amigurumi with me? It's been a learning process, and I had some comments and messages saying, encouraging things, and also people that asked me if I could slow it down, or other things that can help improve my videos. So I'm very thankful for those, and I'll consider those in season 2. Okay, so round 3, we're going to single crochet, and then we're going to increase. Now you're going to repeat this all the way around, and you will have 18 stitches at the end. Going to do round 4, you single crochet 2, and then increase in the next, and we'll repeat that 6 times. And at the end, you will have 24 single crochets. We will do 3 single crochets and then an increase, repeating it 6 times and having a total of 30. Now for round 6, we're going to do 4 single crochets, and then we will increase. So go ahead and do that, and you should have 36 single crochets at the end. So when you're going around, make sure you go all the way to the very last stitch, which is the increase, and do not close that stitch yet. What we're going to do is we're going to grab our mug color, okay? So from the mug color, this is how we're going to switch to color, okay? So what we're going to do is, you see that the yarn tail starts here, right? So go ahead and just leave it like this, and then we're going to take that yarn, we're going to yarn over, and we're going to close that last single crochet so that when you draw up the loop, it's the new color and it's okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to start round 7, and we're going to single crochet 5 and then increase in the next stitch, and we're going to repeat that for a total of 42 in this new color that we have right here. Now a helpful little hint is taking your old color, which is this green, and we're going to crochet with it by placing it together so that we don't have to weave those ends in later. So with the new color, we're going to crochet 5. So you see how I have it right here on top of my crochet hook. So go ahead and single crochet as normal. You see that? And then now it's tucked in between this loop here so that you don't have to weave it in later. So let's go ahead and single crochet 5 and then increase in the next stitch. You can just tuck that yarn just like the way I told you. 2, 3, 4, 5. And 5 stitches is enough for me, so I'll just bring that over here. You can just cut it now. I'll just leave a little tiny bit of a tail just so that it doesn't come undone, and then increase in the next stitch and repeat. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. So friends, we have reached the end of the round, and here what you will do is go ahead and fasten off, like a bit of a tail. We're going to clean fasten off. So at this point, what you will need is your tapestry needle. Go ahead and pull out that yarn tail, and we want to clean fasten off so that the top of the mug looks nice and neat. We're adding that yarn tail to our needle, and we've done this in previous episodes, so you should be a bit familiar. We are going to take the yarn needle into the second stitch of the round, not the first. We're going to go right under just like that and go through very gently. Now with that same yarn tail, we're going to go back into the last stitch of the round. You see that the yarn tail is coming out of here. You go right through the center of that, and you can also go through that back bump over there just to make it nice and secure. We're going to fix the tension of this so that it looks like another stitch. And then now, if you see, it's nice and rounded. So you can always use your tapestry needle to adjust the tension on some of those stitches. But yeah, it's very seamless. And then we're going to take our needle and just go through a few stitches to make sure that it's nice and secure and it doesn't fall apart. So let's see here. We're going to put it through here like that. And then we're going to cut all of these loose ends here and here. We could even do this one too. So this is at the top of our mug. You will just set this aside and we'll come back to it in a second. Now we're going to make the cheeks, and it's very simple. We're just going to do a magic ring of 6. So go ahead and make your magic ring using the pink yarn. So we're going to do a magic ring of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, tighten up that magic ring just like that so that there are no holes in the center, and then cut yourself a fairly long tail because we're going to sew this into the body of the mug, and pull out that yarn tail. We're going to clean fasten off. So you should be an expert at this by now, right? We've done so many of these. So go ahead and add it to your tapestry needle and skip that first chain, or sorry, not chain, first stitch. You're going into the second stitch just like this with your needle. Pull that yarn tail all the way through, and then you see that stitch that we're skipping, we'll just tuck it back, and then put your yarn needle into the last stitch where the yarn tail is coming out of. And also you can go through that back bump because it helps it secure and stay in place. So now what we're going to do is we're going to adjust the tension. So you might have to play around with it because this is really small, but there you go. That's the cheek. And then I would just leave this alone, trim off the beginning yarn tail just so that we can sew it into our mug later, and make 2 of these and set them aside, and we're going to start the body. Friends, grabbing your hook and your mug color. So I'm using this kind of periwinkle color. We're going to magic ring 6. You got this. You got this. So go ahead and make a magic ring of 6. Go ahead and increase in every stitch. And you might want to put a stitch marker there because it's really hard to remember when you're working in a spiral where the beginning of the round is. So go ahead and do that. You should have 12 single crochets at the end of the round. Excellent. For round 3, we are going to single crochet and increase and repeat that all the way around for a total of 18 stitches. Okay, so now we are doing round 4, which is 2 single crochets and increase. We're going to repeat that 6 times for a total of 24. Okay friends, for round number 5 we will do 3 single crochets and then increase. We'll repeat that 6 times for a total of 30. So go ahead and do that. So 3 single crochets and increase. For round number 6 we will do 4 single crochets and increase, repeating it 6 times for a total of 36. Seven, we will do 5 single crochets and increase in the stitch after. So go ahead and repeat that 6 times for a total of 42. Okay friends, now what we need to do is a clean fasten off. And I know this seems like a huge hassle to do because we're going to make the body on here anyway, but trust me, it's going to look so good. So go ahead and take out your stitch marker, but set it aside because we will definitely need it. And we're going to cut a smallish tail. We're going to pull out that yarn and clean fasten off. So this is the bottom of the mug or the cup. So go ahead and clean fasten off, and remember that we skip the first stitch of the round. We go into the second just like that, and we bring our tapestry needle forward. Now bringing that yarn forward like this, we're taking the needle into the last stitch of the round just like that, and into the back bump like this, and we have made another stitch so it looks nice and neat. Now I want you to go ahead and weave it in and out of some of the stitches so that way it's nice and secure, and that way this won't unravel or get frogged. So go ahead and weave it in and out, and then what we're going to do is we're going to go into the back bumps of the round 7. So the round that we just did, you can see this is the right side of the work, so this is on the bottom. But I would like you to, okay, so now we're starting the body of the cup. So go ahead and make a slip knot and place that onto your hook, okay? Just like this. All right, let's start on our back bumps. So I have a slip stitch here, and then you can see that this is the stitch. You go right behind the stitch and you'll see a horizontal bar, just like that. Now go ahead and single crochet. So that's our first. You should pick up 42 single crochets because that's the number of stitches that we ended with. So you just go into the next horizontal bar right here. That's 2. 3, 4, sometimes it's a little bit difficult, but it is worth the effort that you do. Okay, so that's 5, right? 5, 6, 7. Sometimes I have to use my fingertips to get it all the way. Yeah, okay. So you are just going into every back bump, and this makes a nice flat surface so that the mug looks like it's standing on its own like a real mug, and it has a nice crisp border, and I just think it looks really nice. And it's, you know, it's episode 9 and we're learning something new. We are doing a basic shape, basic increases, but isn't this interesting? Now you know back bumps, right? Back bumps are really handy when you're designing things that need a specific, if you want to keep it flat, you see, like it's like this, and it just looks nice and neat, and it really, really elevates the amigurumi using this method. And it is not too difficult, and really makes it look nice. So I'm going to go ahead and go through every single back bump and make sure it's the back bump. You can see here, right? This is the last round. So you make sure you're looking at the V's here, and then you're turning it so that you can see the horizontal bar right there. And you'll be able to tell if you didn't do it correctly, because you should have this nice border going on here. Okay, so it's not too bad so far, right? It's just single crochets. It's just going through a different loop this time. You can do it. Don't give up. And then over here as well, and here. I'm almost to the beginning of the round. Okay, so I just have a few more here. And I have one last one here. And just like that. And I think if you're a beginner, you should definitely count the stitches and make sure that it is 42, because when we put the lid on, like the top part, it needs to be even. So go ahead and grab your stitch marker. Now what we're going to do is just our normal single crochet around, and that's going to be 12 rounds of just single crocheting in every stitch. So I'll do the first round with you, but you got this. This is episode 9. You got it. So just one single crochet in each of these. No back bumps, okay? Just normal single crochet like you always do. Just like this. And this is going to add height to your matcha mug, okay? So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so that was my first round of 12 of single crocheting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this off camera because it's just the same thing over and over again. Meet me back here after you've done all 12 rounds and I'll show you how to do the face and then assemble. We're going to add the face now, okay? So adding the face, we need to make the smile first. I always like to do the smile first because I think then it's easier to kind of do the eyes. So what we're going to do is on the fourth round. So this is the first. So I usually like to embroider the opposite of wherever I started. So I'm going to do it here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So just pick one of the stitches and just make a V, the same you know, the exact same as the stitch you have here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'll just go ahead and do it here. And I'm going to go, see how I came out just in between the stitch? I'm going to go in here and here, just like that. You see here? Now you can do the tips that I've told you in previous videos if you want to go use a smaller tapestry needle so you can pierce it through. I have a feeling my big one here will actually pierce through the middle of it. Or you could just, you know, do your regular one. So let me try. Yeah, mine will pierce through because I think it's very, it's a bit sharp. So just like that. That's the smile, just like that. And I would not weave it in quite yet. I would put in the eyes first. So now we're going to add the eyes and we're going to put it on rounds 5 through, in between 5 and 6, the rounds 5 and 6, which is just, you know, just right above here. And I like to add it, let's see, 2 stitches away from the smile. So I'm going to do 1, 2, right here, but you can put it wherever you like. I'm going to do, let's see where are the stitches. I want to see it clearly. So 1, 2, here. And the great part about this is you can play around with it until you see where you like it. And if you're happy with this, you can go ahead and add the backings, okay? So go ahead and add the backings to that. And you can also secure in that smile by either weaving it in or, you know, triple knotting it. And we're going to add these right next to the eyes. So I don't like this big tail that's coming out from the middle from the magic ring. So I'm just going to take that out. And then let's sew these on. You are definitely familiar with sewing things on. I am just going to do it right next to the eyes, about 1 stitch away. So you can see that it's the height of two rounds. So I'm using the bottom of the smile and the middle of the eyes as a gauge. So these two, and then 1 stitch away. I think that looks nice. So go ahead and weave it in. You can use backstitch or whichever one that you prefer. I prefer that over what is it called, the whip stitch, because the whip stitch is it looks kind of like distracting to me when you're doing parts that are different color. But you do what you like. But I will do back stitches and just like that. Okay friends, after you have put on your cheeks like this, I went ahead and did a clean fasten off. So you go ahead and do that, and I've showed you many times how to do that. So I stuffed only to maybe just, you know, a little bit from the top, just so that I have a little bit of room. And now what we're going to do is we're going to put the top part onto the mug. So now we will take our mug color and just make a slip knot. And place that onto your hook and tighten it up just a bit so that it fits your hook. We're going to place the lid on top and we are going to single crochet through both sides. Now we've done this before with the onigiri where we single crochet through both panels, so it's exactly the same. So what we're going to do is I'm going to start in the back because I don't want the beginning of my stitch to be where the eyes are. So pick anywhere in the back and go ahead and go through the body of the mug and then go through a stitch somewhere on the top of the mug. Now go ahead and take both and single crochet. Now go to the next stitch and do the same, and just do this all the way around. And what you'll see is that it's nice and seamless, so that way it looks like it's just part of the mug. So go ahead and single crochet all the way around, going through both the body of the mug as well as the top. I think I'll bring it closer just so that you can see. I'm going through both loops on the body as well as both loops on the lid. So go ahead and do that, okay? What this does is you can just seam it together without having to use a needle. And I really dislike sewing parts together, so this is a great solution for me, and I also like the way it looks. So I hope that you find this helpful as well. And by not stuffing it too much, it definitely looks like the tea is sitting at the bottom, or not the bottom, just sitting inside the mug, and gives it some kind of depth so that it looks a little bit more real, I think. And when you go through both sides like this, it really does look seamless. This is the last one. So now what we're going to do is we're going to clean fasten off again. So leave a bit of a tail so that we have room to sew. Take out this and let's go ahead and clean fasten off and then weave in all of our ends. So I'm going to go into the second stitch. We've done this before, so I'm moving a bit faster to keep the video's length a bit shorter, okay? So go ahead and weave in all of your ends and then it's done, which is the most wonderful feeling in my opinion when making amigurumi, and you see the whole thing come together. So let's fasten this in. Oops, excuse me. Okay, so that one is good. When you do that clean fasten off, I think it just really makes it look so nice because there is no bump in it and it's all even, so that you can't really tell where the beginning or the end is, and it just makes everything look nice and neat. So that's it. We have finished our matcha. We have finished our matcha mug. I hope you enjoyed that. A big thank you to my sponsors at Hobium Yarns, who have provided all the materials for all of these videos. Now, if you're looking to maybe add blusher like we did for the onigiri, feel free to go ahead and do that with the directions that I've given you in the previous episode. But I would really love for you to subscribe to support my small business. And you can find the free pattern on Hobium Yarn's website, or you can find it in all my shops. It pairs really nicely with this onigiri, so I hope you have a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the last episode for season 1. Goodbye!